Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you. Today, when he reaches out after all that silence, after leaving you wondering, after making you question your value, that is not the time to rush in. That is the moment to pause and think. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by telling you this clearly. The very first thing you must do when he contacts you after all that quiet is to stay calm. You cannot, and I mean cannot, let your emotions take control right then, because emotions will have you replying too quickly, answering that phone before you even consider what is really best for you. Emotions will make you forget all those nights you cried, all those days you waited wondering why he disappeared, and now, just because his name shows up on your screen, your heart wants to act like nothing happened. But you can't let it fool you. You have to breathe. You need to pause. You have to be still. Because that message or call is only a test. It's a test to see if you've learned your worth while he was away. It's a test to see if you'll let the same mistakes happen again, or if you're finally ready to pick peace over pain. You won't pass that test if you react with your feelings first. You pass the test when you answer from a calm place, a place of strength, where your self-respect speaks louder than your excitement. Now, I understand, ladies. I know it feels good when he finally reaches out. It feels like a relief, like maybe your prayers were answered. You start thinking, maybe he missed me. Maybe he finally realized I'm the one. But slow down. Don't let your mind create a love story before you even know why he called, because sometimes people come back, not because they value you, but because they see you moving on. They see you shining without them, and they just want to check if they still have a hold on you. You need to stay calm enough to notice that difference. You can't let excitement decide for you. Excitement is temporary, but your peace is priceless. So when you see that message, look at it, then put the phone down. Go take a walk, call your best friend, pray, write in your journal. Do anything but respond immediately. Give yourself time to let that first rush calm down, because once your heart is calm, your mind becomes clearer, and when your mind is clear, you make choices that protect your heart instead of hurting it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen too many people fall into the same trap because they answer too fast. They let a tiny spark of hope cover up the truth they already knew. Don't be one of those people. You are not desperate. You are not waiting for someone to make you feel important. You are whole right now, whether he calls or not. When you stay calm, you send a message not just to him, but to yourself, that your feelings matter, but your peace is sacred. So when he reaches out, make him wait. Let him feel the silence. You've felt it long enough. Now it's his turn. And in that quiet, you get to decide, do I even want to open this door again? Is this man worth disturbing my peace? But you can only ask yourself those important questions when you are calm, because calmness is where your power lives. That is where your wisdom lives. That's where the real you, the strong, smart, self-respecting you, makes decisions. So, stay calm, Queen. Let the world spin, let the phone ring, let the message come in. But you stay still, because that stillness is your strength. Strength is exactly what you need when the past tries to come back. Now let's be honest about something many people skip over. When he reaches out after being silent, you can't just focus on the fact that he called. You have to look deeper. You need to check his real reasons, because not every "hey, how have you been" is a true effort to fix things. Sometimes it's just a habit. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's a test to see if he still holds power over you. If you're not careful, you'll fall for the words without checking the reason behind them. Listen carefully when I say this. Men, just like anyone else, reach out for many reasons. Maybe things didn't work out with someone else. Maybe he's bored. Maybe he had a moment of weakness. And yes, maybe he truly realized he made a mistake and wants to make things right. But you'll never know which one it is if you only listen to sweet words and ignore his actions and timing. You have to ask yourself, why now? Why after so much time? What does he really want from me? Is he looking for comfort or commitment? Is he trying to ease his guilt, or is he ready to take responsibility for the hurt he caused? When you start asking those questions, you take your power back, because now you're not just reacting, you're thinking. And a queen thinks. She watches. She doesn't rush to open the door every time there's a knock. She looks through the peephole first. And you, my sister, have to do the same with your heart. Look through the peephole of his actions. Has he shown any real change, or is he just repeating the same mistakes? Is he consistent, or is this just a random message on a lonely night? Actions always reveal the truth about a person. If his intentions are real, he will show it by being consistent. He will be patient if you take time to reply. He will meet you emotionally where you are. But if he gets angry when you don't answer fast, or pulls away when you ask real questions, that is your sign. That is the sign his intentions aren't deep. They're shallow. And you deserve more than shallow love. It's easy to be fooled by words, especially when you've been waiting for him to contact you. But don't let your ears blind your eyes. Look at the pattern. Look at the past. See if his words are followed by respectful, steady, meaningful actions. Is he ready to say sorry without excuses? Does he ask about your feelings and needs, or is he only focused on his own? Is he working on rebuilding trust, or is he just trying to go back to how things were without fixing anything? That's how you check intention. You listen with your whole spirit, not just your heart. You notice the energy behind the words. Does it feel calm or rushed? Honest or like manipulation? Never ignore those little red flags that show up early, because those red flags are whispers from your future self saying, pay attention now so you don't hurt later. So the next time he comes back after all that silence, you owe it to yourself to slow down and really think, what is he really here for? Is it love or convenience, growth or comfort? And until you have a clear answer, you don't have to open your heart again, not until his intentions match your worth, because your worth is not negotiable. It deserves real effort, not empty words. Let's be clear right now. When he comes back after disappearing, the first thing you need to hold on to is not your feelings or memories, but your self-respect and boundaries. Your self-respect is the guard at the gate. It's the voice that reminds you, I am worthy, whether he stays or goes. And your boundaries are the fence that protects your peace. Without those two, you'll end up giving too much too fast to someone who may no longer deserve that. But too many people, especially when they've been waiting for someone to reach out, forget their standards the moment that call comes through. The door that was locked tight suddenly swings wide open, no questions asked. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you find yourself in the same painful cycle. Again, people will only treat you as well as you allow them to. If you make it easy for someone to come and go as they please, they will. They will keep doing exactly that. But when you stand firm on your self-respect, when you let your boundaries speak louder than your loneliness, that's when everything shifts. Self-respect means you don't allow someone's return to make you forget their absence. It means you don't let sweet words today erase the silence from yesterday. It means knowing you are not desperate for anyone's love. You want love, yes, but you're not so starved for attention that you'll accept leftovers. Self-respect is walking in the truth that you are enough right now without needing anyone else's approval. Boundaries are not about punishing others. They're about protecting yourself. They are the limits you set for how people are allowed to treat you. So when he reaches out, your boundaries should act strong. Maybe you decide not to answer immediately. Maybe you choose to only talk during certain times. Maybe you decide that before any real conversation happens, you need a real apology, not just small talk. And you stick to that. Every time you bend your boundaries just to keep someone around, a little piece of your self-worth chips away. And I don't want that for you. You deserve to feel whole, not empty. Now here's something important. A person who truly cares about you will respect your boundaries. If he gets upset because you're not rushing back into his arms, that's your sign right there that he's not serious. True love respects your need for space, your need for time, your need for clarity. It doesn't pressure you, it doesn't make you feel guilty, and it doesn't make you feel wrong for protecting your peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you have every right to expect more than just a random text. You have every right to say, if you want access to me again, you have to come right. You have to show consistency. You have to rebuild what was broken. That's not being difficult, that's knowing your worth. And if someone really wants you in their life, they will rise to those standards. If they can't, let them go, because lowering your standards to keep someone is the fastest way to lose yourself. So when that message pops up and your heart starts racing, pause and remember, your self-respect is not for sale, your peace is not a bargain, and your boundaries are there to keep your heart safe, not to keep love out. Hold your head high, stand firm, and let the world and anyone from your past know that access to you is earned, not given away for free. Let me tell you one of the most powerful things you can do when he finally reaches out after all that silence. Take your time before you reply. Don't rush. Don't let excitement, surprise, or anger push you into reacting right away. Because usually your first impulse is your feelings talking, not your wisdom. And in moments like this, you don't want to move with emotion, you want to move with intention. When you rush to reply, you give away your power. You let him know that no matter how long he disappears, he can come back and get your attention instantly. And that sets the tone for the whole interaction. If he learns that you'll drop everything just because he texted, he won't have to try hard. He'll know he still has easy access to you. But when you take your time, when you create space before responding, you change the energy. You show that your life doesn't stop just because he decides to pop back up. That's a powerful message. Without saying a word, taking time lets you check in with yourself first. Ask yourself, how do I really feel about hearing from him? Am I ready to talk? Or do I need more time to process? What do I want from this conversation? What am I not willing to accept? You can't answer those questions clearly if you're rushing. You need that pause, that quiet moment to let your mind and heart catch up with each other. Sometimes your first urge is to send a long message full of feelings, but later, when you're calmer, you realize you want to keep it short, firm, and focused. That difference only shows up when you give yourself time. Ladies and gentlemen, don't underestimate the power of silence. Just because he broke his silence doesn't mean you have to break yours right away. Your silence can speak volumes. It can show you not just sitting by the phone waiting, can make him think about how his absence hurt you. Most importantly, it gives you control to decide if, when, and how you want to engage, if at all. I know it's tempting. I know that little voice inside wants to believe maybe this time is different. Maybe this is the moment you've been waiting for. That's exactly why you have to pause. Hope is beautiful, but hope without wisdom can lead you right back to heartbreak. Taking time to respond protects you from acting on quick feelings and helps you make choices that honor your long-term peace. Let me tell you something else. If his intentions are real and his feelings genuine, he'll still be there when you're ready to reply. A man who truly wants to fix things won't disappear just because you didn't answer in 5 minutes. In fact, your patience will weed out the ones who are only there for convenience. If he gets annoyed or plays games because you took your time, that tells you everything you need to know about his maturity and honesty. But if he respects your pace and stays consistent without pressuring you, that's a sign he might be serious this time. So ladies and gentlemen, take your time like your peace depends on it, because it does. Respond when you feel ready, when your mind is clear and your emotions are calm. Let your timing show that you're not desperate, you're deliberate, because the one who values you will wait. The one who only wants quick attention will fade away. And trust me, you want to answer the one who's still standing when your silence ends, not the one who knocked once and ran away. When he finally reaches out after that long silence, you have every right to be careful. Here's the truth. Not every conversation deserves your time, and not every message deserves your energy. This is the moment you have to make sure any talk you choose fits with your standards. And when I say standards, I'm not talking about a wish list of nice things. I mean the non-negotiables you set for how people treat you, speak to you, and enter your life. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of hearing from someone you once cared about. It's easy to let that first sweet message make you forget everything you promised yourself during the silence. But your standards protect you from slipping back into situations that don't serve you. They are like a mirror you hold up to every interaction, asking, does this reflect what I deserve? And if the answer is no, you owe it to yourself to step back. So, when he reaches out, listen carefully, not just to his words, but to the deeper meaning behind them. Is he taking real responsibility for his past mistakes, or is he just trying to slide back into your life like nothing happened? Is he showing respect for your feelings and boundaries, or is he testing how much he can get away with? Is he consistent and clear, or is it the same confusing pattern? When that message comes and old feelings start knocking on your heart, take a deep breath. Feel the feelings, but don't feed them. Remind yourself who you became during the silence, of the peace you built, the standards you set. From that grounded, steady place, make your next move. Because the real power is not just getting him to reach out. The real strength is showing you are no longer controlled by the emotions that used to rule your life. That is emotional maturity. And that is where your true power lies.